Okay, guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Now, fasten your seatbelts. Here we go. All right, guys, I'm back, and it is November 29th, Black Friday, and it is 10:07 p.m. All right, well, let's get into it. Now, I do have some people to thank, but I am going to do that in the next video because this is going to be a video that is all on one topic. And the topic is very timely. It is what happened in London today. My little spidey senses went off as soon as I heard it, and I thought, okay, I'm going to start looking into this now, just in case. As always happens, they alter the video, and they're already starting to do that. I've already noticed that, okay, they're cutting very important things out, and that's what we're going to be discussing in this video. It's probably, I don't know how long a video it'll be, but probably shorter than my usual video, and after this is uploaded, I am going to do a general news video with all the news. So, just let me take a drink here so that I don't cough. And yes, I'm drinking out of my little kitty mug. All right. Okay, now let's get into this. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to play the, it was taken by a bystander. I'm going to play it. This is the one that I saw, and I think you're going to be shocked because it's not been shown anywhere else. I found this on Twitter, but it's gone. It's like it's gone from the internet. So hopefully it'll still be there. I'll be shocked if I go out and it's gone already, and that wouldn't surprise me either, but I hope not. I really need to download this to my own server. This says breaking video shows shots being fired at man with knife on London Bridge. Man has been detained and police are dealing with multiple casualties. Well, the man was not detained. He was shot and killed, according to one narrative, and there are many narratives I am discovering. So what I'm going to do for you now is I'm going to walk you through this because this goes by so quickly and probably very few people have noticed it. But I've noticed now that the news stations and so forth that are using this video are cutting this part out because you're going to see. Now, I'm going to go to about the 10-second mark, okay? Now, again, as a lot of Londoners were upset with the press because they were depicting the Tower Bridge as the London Bridge. And the Tower Bridge is typically, when you think of London, you know, with the big towers, and I mean, it's the bridge, it's the iconic bridge of London. But this is London Bridge. It's different. There are, I don't know, I think 25 bridges in the city of London. So yeah, they're getting them mixed up. This is London Bridge. And I want you to pay particular attention to this part of the video over here. I wish I could make this bigger, perhaps, but it's not. Let me see if there's any way I can make this bigger. Hang on. I really want you to be able to see this. It's critical. And you know, what we do is we look at the news critically and we use logic to see, are they telling us the narrative that they want us to believe, or are they telling us the truth? In this case, it is most definitely is not the truth. There's way too many anomalies in this. So let me get started here. We are going to forward this to the 10-second mark, okay? Now we have this guy in a, you know, a dark coat and dark pants, and he is not the man that you will see later backing up from the perp with a knife. And the story goes that this man wrestled the knife away from him, but there was some really odd behavior with him as well. So I'm just going to point these anomalies out to you, but the first one I'm going to point out to you is going to blow your mind, literally. And I don't say that lightly. All right. let's go to the 10-second mark. And this guy's, he's curious, he's walking towards, this is where the scuffle is. This is where the guy that had the fake vest on. I'd like to know what kind of a terrorist wears a fake vest, explosive vest. That's a little odd if you ask me. But, okay, that's what we have. That's what they're telling us we have. And this is it. There are some, there's police that are going to walk up on this, but at this time it is private citizens that are wrestling with him. All right, or so they tell us. So let's go to the 10-second mark. And, okay, what is this over here? Do you see the blood there? That's a lot of blood, but we're going to have a better look at it. And I know what you're saying. Well, maybe that's where one of the knife attacks took place. Could be. But it seems, okay, now we're going to forward it, and then I'm going to, once I point these things out to you, I'm going to play it in its entirety for you, okay? It's only 45 seconds long, so, but we're going to go forward to here. Hang on here. Let me find it. Now, at this point, the police are there, and here is one. He's got some sort of a rifle. And there's one here, and there's another one here with a rifle. I can't see. I would assume this guy has a rifle as well. Then there are these two guys with lanyards on and some sort of ID. I don't know if they're just bystanders from a building or what. And you've got the suspect on the ground. All right. Now, let's fast forward it a bit. Hang with me. I know it seems like it's taken a long time to get to this, but I really want to build the foundation for this. All right, 38, 39. And this is the guy on the ground right here. And let me see now. Okay, it's going to pan to this building again. And I want to take this very slowly so you can see it. Now, it only is on for a second, so we have to catch the exact time because it only flashes on for a second. There we go. Look at all this blood. And it doesn't make sense where the blood is to me because it's up there. This is a window, obviously, and the columns, and I don't know, this perhaps looks like a place where you could walk around, but not here, not there. See, there's a fence right there, like not a fence, but a barrier there that they have built into the building. And this is a corner unit, and there's blood all over the window, all over the building. And this is a long way up from the ground, if you ask me. Looks like a long way up from the ground to me. Because here's the ground way down here. This is the bridge, and right down below is water. It's at the water's edge. So what is this? Like, really, what is it? And let's see if there's anything else here that... There's lots in this scene, a lot. But here we're panning back to the blood, and it's you have to catch it right on 39 seconds. At 39 seconds in, you get this quick flash, and there's blood. Now, this is the guy that is apparently wrestled the knife away from this guy, okay? Now, I'm going to play it in its entirety, and then I'm going to point out some things about this guy right here that everybody is hailing as a hero, and maybe he is. I'm not saying one way or another because I don't know. I'm pointing out the anomalies and saying something's not right with what they're telling us. So let's go from the beginning here. All right. So this guy in the coat right here, it appears like that's the guy that is backing up with the knife. It's not. It's not.
has a knife.
These people are actually on a bus where this is being recorded. They're on a city bus, and somebody is recording this, obviously, with their smartphone. So that is where this footage comes from. You can hear them commenting to each other. Now, here's the guy. He's got the knife away from this man, and apparently he's just a bystander. Let's back it up a little bit and see if we can see a little bit more. He's got the knife, he's holding it. And see, it's from far away, so there's a scuffle, and then this guy has the knife. So let's, and there he is, he's holding the knife. Now, he's got something in his pocket that he's fiddling with. Do you see that? Gonna stop it again. I'm sorry, I know that this seems tedious, but I want you to see these things because it goes against the narrative. Now, let's back it up. He's right here. He's looking kind of like, and he's holding the knife kind of tentatively, like, you know, he's holding it in an odd manner, but it could be he's holding it like this because he doesn't want to get his fingerprints all over it. That's what I would be thinking. So let's look at him again. There he is, and he's going to fiddle in one of his pockets with something, okay? What it is, I don't know. See? Let's take it back to where, see? He's got something white. Where he's got it from, I don't know. Let's take it back a little bit more. He's got it in his hand when he gets up from the guy that has and he puts something in his pocket. And so where did he get this thing? Why is he carrying it? Because he's just had this scuffle and got the knife away from the perpetrator that's on the ground. And he's wrestled the knife away, and then when he gets up, he has something white in this hand. Well, what is it? And he's fiddling with it. See, takes it out. He's got it right there in his hand. Now he's putting it back into his jacket, and he's running away, holding the knife oddly, which if you were, I know everyone is saying, oh, he's a hero, he's a hero. Maybe he is. But you're running away from the scene of a crime, well, where the perpetrator is and where he's been wrestled to the ground. He's just stabbed several people, and I've heard that a couple of those people have died, have subsequently died. So he's wrestling around, he's got the knife, he backs up, and all of a sudden he's got something white in the other hand, which he's fiddling with, and then he puts it in his pocket and he starts running away. At that point, I would be afraid that the police would mistake me for the perpetrator and shoot me. That's what I'd be afraid of. Wouldn't you? Because here, the police don't know how many people are involved yet. How do they know that he is the only one? So this guy's running along with the gun. I would be terrified that I'd be shot. And here's the second thing. Would you take the murder weapon away from the scene? I mean, he wrestled the knife away. Wouldn't the smart thing to have been to give it to one of the officers there? That's what I would have done. It seems, I just don't think I would have fled the scene with the murder weapon, getting my fingerprints all over it. And he's leaving the scene, whereas any normal person would have left the gun there because the police had it under control. He could have, thrown the knife far away from the perpetrator. At that point, they've got guns trained on him. He's not going anywhere. So, I mean, if he tried to go for the knife, I mean, he would have been shot, as they subsequently shot him. So it's a little odd to me, don't you think? And all right, let's go on here. So they're struggling with this guy. They haven't shot him yet. These are his feet. Okay. And there's the guy that's going to ultimately shoot him. He backs up. He's pointing toward his head. And apparently, from what I've been told, is they are trained that if somebody does have a vest on, that they go for the head to prevent them from detonating it. But the odd thing is I just think it's a little weird that all these people are, now at this point, it's all police there, except there's one guy, there's one civilian guy, and the police are about to grab him and take him away before they shoot him, like just take him away from the scene so he doesn't get hurt, and then they shoot him. But at that point, and look, I'm not against, I understand this guy has just killed 2 people. He's wounded I don't know how many other people, but at that point they don't know yet. They know that there's injured people. They don't know what all he has done yet, but the weapon he had is away. So why wouldn't they want to take him in to custody without killing him to question him and his ties? That's what I don't understand. They killed him dead, 2 shots to the head. That rhymed. Just letting you know. So that doesn't make sense to me either, because, obviously the other guy has the weapon. So what was the need to kill him? It was evident at this point that vest is not real. So I don't know. And don't get me wrong, because people have, been upset with the police. Why did you kill him? No, I understand that. Look, I've worked for the police. If you've got to stop, he has to stop the threat. That's what he has to do. He's got to stop the threat. But is there really a threat at this point? They know the vest is fake. They've got him subdued, and the weapon is gone. So I don't know. I'm just saying, I wasn't there. They may have perfectly good and sound reasons for doing what they did. I'm not faulting anyone. I'm just saying that the narrative that we're being given does not make sense. So let's continue. So he's struggling again. Now, this police officer is grabbing this civilian and is pulling him away, because this man right here wrestled this guy to the ground. And he was still on him, and apparently, from what I've heard, but again, you can't trust any of these narratives unless it's by somebody that was right there, that doesn't have any, horses in the race. So this guy had been, covering him so that I heard that so that he couldn't move and detonate the vest. If that's true, then that guy is truly a hero and has some big kahunas. But this officer now grabs him and gets him away from the scene, because he must know what's about to happen, because this guy is about to shoot him in the head. The perpetrator, not this guy. So let's see here.
Oh my God.
So these people on the bus have just watched somebody be murdered in front of them. So their reactions, whether the reactions are real, whether this video's, been staged, I don't know. I don't think so. Otherwise, I don't think they would have shown the blood. But now, okay, this is starting over again. Okay, this is not the one that shows the man. I've got more. So, yeah, you hear that shot, then it pans out, and you get that quick shot of the blood all over the window, right underneath the window on the far side. And let's go back to 10 seconds. So, shot had not happened at 10 seconds. And you can see the blood here before the shot happened. Now, I know people are going to say, well, he probably attacked somebody there. And I don't think so. It's way far up from the ground, as I said, number one. Number two, there's no place for somebody to walk here, not over here. And that does not look like spurting blood, or, I mean, it's obviously blood splatter, but I don't think, I don't know, somebody that works in this building or knows what this building is could probably fill me in more, but it looks like this is very high up off the ground. And see, it's not the first floor. There's a big drop here, and then there's water over here. So I don't know. Now we're going to go on. I know I'm kind of belaboring this, but I'm doing that for a purpose, because I really want you guys to see what I'm seeing. Now, let's look at this. I've got several things about this. Now, this is something weird as well. But again, I want to preface this by saying I got this from Twitter, from Deep State Exposed. I don't know where he or she got the video, but this is in the exact same spot, exact same bridge where they were having the scuffle. There is the plaque on the bridge, and you can tell from other videos, this is in the area where they were having the scuffle with the terrorist. Now, all right, but what we don't know is, well, was this some guy that did this after everything, or well, it couldn't be before anything unless they had pre-knowledge. But let's just look at this, because it appears like this is the terrorist, and he was shot dead. So why is he getting up? Well, he wasn't shot dead. That's the other thing. They keep saying he was shot dead. No, he wasn't. He died at the scene, but he was not dead after he was shot. He was still moving around, and hence probably the second shot. Now, let's look at this. It's blurry, but, and again, this is taken from a bus.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
And you hear the one lady say, it's a show, isn't it? Something like that. I can't exactly hear what she's saying, but that's what it sounds like to me.
Oh my God.
So you can hear her. She says, no, she's not saying it's a show. She's saying, I mean, he's been shot, right? So I don't get this, but it could have been staged, right? We don't know. It could have been staged because it's too blurry and it's too far away, and we don't know who that is lying down there. It could be somebody that's just after the fact reenacting it for whatever reason. I don't know, but it's odd. Yeah, he said he's been shot. So why is he getting back up again? Where are the police? I don't get it. Do you? I would love to hear your comments on this, and there's more. There's always more. Now, let's go back, and we're going to look at this next, because I think you will find it very interesting. Now, this from Reddit, and someone posted, huge coincidence. Election campaigning suspended after London Bridge terror attack. This happened exactly the same in 2017 before an election, also on London Bridge. Campaigning was suspended after both incidents. And I cannot believe how blatant this is. In 2017, just before the election, there was a terrorist attack on London Bridge, which whipped up a storm and drove support for the Conservatives. Then the parties decided to suspend campaigning, a perfect situation for the Conservatives. The attack just happened tonight. The attack that has just happened tonight has resulted in the same thing again. Not only is the attack directly before an election, it is also on London Bridge, and again, campaigning has been suspended. This is so blatant. So let's look at this link, and this takes us to, now this is in 2017, says parties suspend national election campaigning after London attack. UKIP declines to follow suit as party leaders also express gratitude to police and emergency services for their professional response. So that is back in 2017 because we had an attack then. They had an attack then. I would say we because if it happens to one, it happens to all. All right, now let's go back and look at 2019. And what do we have for the headlines? General election, Labour and Conservatives suspend campaign after London Bridge terror attack. Party leaders pay tribute to emergency services and members of the public caught up in the attack. Well, and what does Q say? There are no coincidences? Yeah, that's too big of a coincidence for me. One time could be a coincidence. 2 times the exact same thing right before an election? No, I'm sorry. I'm afraid not. Fail. Yeah, I don't believe it. There's something else is happening. All right, now we're gonna go here. Now, let's look at what other purpose this might serve. Oh, they're gonna make me turn off my... so they can advertise me to death. I hate this. Theresa May says the internet must now be regulated following London Bridge terror attack. Yeah. Who couldn't see this coming? I knew this is about more than... There's too many anomalies. Too many anomalies. It just is weird to me. Theresa May says the internet must now be regulated. New international agreements, international, do you get that? International agreements should be introduced to regulate the internet in the light of the London Bridge terror attack, Theresa May has said. Now, of course, they've been trying to do this for a very long time. And, you know, they do so through false flags and then saying, oh, yes, we need regulation. And that's exactly what they're doing here. And I think that we would be absolutely foolish to miss that. The Prime Minister said introducing new rules for cyberspace would deprive the extremists of their safe spaces online, and that technology firms were not currently doing enough. Wow. That's all I can say. Wow. The Prime Minister made the comments outside Downing Street on Sunday morning in the aftermath of the van and knife attack that saw 7 people killed and dozens injured. Now, this is the attack that happened on June 2017, okay? So this is what they were saying. They were saying, oh yeah, now we have to, regulate the internet. And they did. They did. You can't say hardly anything in London. If you say something that you disapprove of the migrants or anything like that, you can be arrested and put in jail. So they have taken away. Certainly there's no freedom to express your freedom of speech. There is no freedom of speech in the UK now. That was 2017. So what are they going to use this one for? Well, already they've suspended the election. That's number one. But I can bet you that won't be the only thing. They'll bring in some sort of new legislation, or they'll say, oh, this has to happen, or that has to happen, or we need to regulate the internet further. What do you bet? All right, so there's that. Now, let's look at this. London Bridge attack, convicted terrorist Usman Khan named as assailant, attacker convicted in 2012 on terror charges. Yep. well, if this really is him, I don't know. None of us know. We think we know, but we can never be sure anymore because we don't know what's real and what's faked. Police have confirmed the identity of the London Bridge attacker as 28-year-old Usman Khan. Khan killed 2 people and wounded 3 more in a stabbing attack around 2 p.m. on Friday. This individual was known to authorities, having been convicted in 2012 for terrorism offenses. Metropolitan Police counter-terrorism chief Neil Basu said in a statement he was released from prison in December 2018 on license, and clearly a key line of inquiry now is to establish how he came to carry out his attack. Well, it's easy. He was out of jail. I mean, hello? He's a terrorist. You let him out of jail, what's he gonna do? Commit acts of terrorism. It's not brain surgery, people. And I'm not talking to you guys because I know that you guys get it. I know you get it, but it's frustrating. He was released from prison in December 2018 on license, and tragically 2 people, a man and a woman, were killed during the attack. 3 others, a man and 2 women, were also injured and remained in hospital. Whilst we are still in the early stages of the investigation, at this time we are not actively seeking anyone else in relation to the attack. The statement added that Khan had been living in the Staffordshire area where searches are now underway. All right. The attacker had previous links to can't pronounce that name. The group led by Anjum Chowdhury and dubbed Britain's most prolific and dangerous extremist group, The Independent understands. Police said that Khan had attended an event earlier on Friday afternoon at Fishmongers Hall called Learning Together. Well, doesn't that sound cozy? Yeah, what were they learning? I don't know. The attack is believed to have been inside before he left the building and proceeded onto London Bridge, where he was detained and subsequently confronted and shot by armed officers. Well, obviously, he was shot by armed officers because unarmed officers would be unable to shoot him. Just pointing out the obvious there. All right. Now, I wish that, and I might actually, I think I am going to go and see if I can find a picture of the guy that was running away with the knife, because you're going to see something a little odd. Now, I don't quite know where to look for it. Let me see. We'll go here, and we will go back here, and let's go. Oh, look at this. It says, I'm sure this has nothing to do with anything. It says, Human Domain Solutions, LLC. Get paid to have fun showing off your acting skills as a casualty role player on December 3rd to 7th near Austin, Texas. Heads up, Austin, Texas. Heads up. You know, when they do this, something happens. Unbelievable. Okay, let's hurry this up here because I'm sure you don't want to be all night getting this information. London Bridge footage. I don't think this is the one. See, most of them have cut out that this is obviously taken by a different person, but I've only found one, and it just very briefly that are offering the view of the blood. Now, I think this might be the one. I think we might have the right one. We're watching this guy right here. The guy with the knife, okay? He's running. He's telling people to get back. He's still got the knife. He's holding it kind of weirdly. Probably doesn't want to get his fingerprints on it. Well, they're already all over it. Now, he's taken that thing out of his pocket and he throws it away. What was it? What was it? I'd like to know. because he had it in his hand when he got up. He had that in one hand and the knife in the other. He backs up against the wall. He fiddles with his coat, trying to get it into his pocket. He puts it in his pocket. Then he walks up here a little bit, and then the police are telling people, get back. So he's running, and he takes that out of his pocket, and he throws it. Why? Why? First of all, he's littering. I know we, take a dim view of that. Anyway, let's see if we can hear the sound in this, because I want to. All right. There's a guy with the knife. That's who you got to keep your eye on. 2 shots. This guy's running now. And I don't know what he's saying, or if that's him saying it or not, but you can hear clearly 2 shots, okay? And the guys should at that point realize, okay, the guy's been neutralized. I just would not want to be seen running away from the scene with a murder weapon. Really? I mean, anybody could have shot him. So why didn't they? How did they know? How did anybody know that he wasn't also a suspect? I don't know. And what did he throw out of his pocket? Why was it so important? Why did he have it out of his pocket when he was wrestling with this guy? Or maybe he picked it up from the guy. Maybe he took it from that guy. I don't know. But he had it, and I don't think he would have had it out of his pocket wrestling with this guy. So maybe this guy handed it to him, or maybe, I don't know. But he thought it important enough to put it back into his pocket, and then he throws it away. A little odd. So I'm just saying, it doesn't make sense. I'm going to stay on this because I'm sure as time goes on, there's going to be more and more anomalies that make themselves known. I am still kind of analyzing footage and, trying to pick things out of the footage, and there's lots to go through. So it may take me a while, and there may not be anything else I can glean from this, but I'm saying that there's something that doesn't make sense here. Not at all. So anyway, that is it for this video. I am going to be back, and I'm going to be doing a second video with news, Q-related news, and that's all. I never know how to end my videos, but I guess I just should say goodbye. Anyway, stay safe, stay well, stay blessed, and keep seeking truth because, as you know, deception bites. See you guys soon. Thanks for listening.